Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage from her own living room, yet again, it is your host and compere, Carly Smallman!
So much for joining us this evening. How are you doing? How are you coping with lockdown? My name is Carly. I'm one half of the Bring Your Own Gravy crew. And as always, we've got an absolutely brilliant show for you this evening. This is going to be our last one for a little while. So we have decided to give you a real treat and bring you a bumper show. So instead of your usual 3 stand-up comedians, we now have 4. So firstly, can I say, you are welcome. You are welcome, everybody. We have got the fabulous Stephen Grant. We have got Elisa Kyria, aka the Funny Mummy. We have got Jen Brister, star of Live at the Apollo. And also we have got Sooz Kempner. So we've got an absolutely brilliant night lined up for you. We really hope you have a good time. Let me tell you a little bit more about what we do. As always, we are comedy for parents. Please grab yourselves a drink. You deserve one. You have survived another week in lockdown as a slave to your children, and you deserve a glass of wine. In fact, pop in the comments box. Please let me know what you're drinking, because I am one nosy motherfucker. I haven't actually poured one yet. I ordered a salted caramel vodka from Amazon, so I think I might pour myself one of those when the show starts. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The jokes are going to be grown-up jokes, is what I'm here to tell you, my darlings. We have got comedians doing all kinds of material just for you. There's going to be swearing. Oh my! You know what? At the start of lockdown, I was like, "There's going to be swearing," and I was expecting everyone to be like, "Oh my God, swearing! How novel!" But I imagine you are all swearing fucking loads now, freely in front of your children. Just say, "Oh, fuck this shit," and there is no judgment here if that is how you choose to get over this lockdown. We've already had a comment: drinking tea, booze is too expensive over here in Sweden. Well, booze is not too expensive here in the UK, so fucking chin chin to everyone in the Great British Isles. Please, everybody, as always, if you are enjoying our shows, please do subscribe. You can subscribe to our channel. The way that we work here is we are working on a donations basis. So I would love to be able to buy all of our acts a lovely drink this evening. So if you are able to, please do donate via the PayPal that is running across the bottom of the screen. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because we have a lot of comedians to entertain you this evening. And I have to say you are very motherfucking lucky because they are all absolutely brilliant top circuit acts coming to you directly from their homes. So I say let's just crack on with the show. Please do give a little comment in the box and say hello because I will be here and we will be hoping to interact with you a bit, feel a bit more one-on-one, human connection. Let's do this. Also, before I just introduce him, can I just say, do you like my hair? I was fearing the grey low, so I've actually gone for a little purple tip there. So yeah, basically, if any of you fancy me, and even if you don't, you are welcome. So, sorry, I'm getting told off in my ear here, being like, stop it, it's not that kind of a show. Sorry everyone. It's been a long time. Can I just say I'm locked down as a single lady? It's been a long time. But ladies and gentlemen, enough about that nonsense. Let's get a comedian on to stop me talking. Your first act is called Stephen Grant. Please get those applaud emojis going. Get them applauding. Clap, 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 clap. And welcome to your screens, Stephen.
Hello, it's Stephen Grant here. I am a stand-up comedian, and as you can see right now, like all people who are on Zoom and everything like that, I've had to choose where to sit in front, and I'm trying to think, oh, what books to show off, and then it's like which bookshelf. And I was really worried I picked the wrong bookshelf, so as you can see, I've decided to sort of show, you know, a variety of them from my library. And you think, oh god, he's showing off in front of his library. That's not actually strictly true, you can probably tell, because that's just a wing of my library. There's an entire sort of reference section that I've missed out altogether. Obviously, that is a joke. I work in an Amazon warehouse because I'm a stand-up comedian. I don't have a job anymore, so please fucking kill me. They're trying to deliberately give me coronavirus right now in order to make me impervious to any future illnesses. So before your package comes out to you, I do actually have to lick it. But it's been fun here at the Amazon warehouse. They've been teaching everybody how to basically ring the doorbell and fuck off back to their van before you even open the door for safety reasons, which means all those people who played Knockdown Ginger in their formative years are now considered overqualified for the job of Amazon delivery driver. Anyway, so this is all jokes. Realistically, the reason why you should kill me, apart from not really owning these bookshelves, is the reason because I'm homeschooling. As a parent, I am now taking over the job of schooling, and that is why you fucking kill me now. I mean, genuinely kill me. I don't get me wrong, I love my children and all the rest of it, but there are some fundamentals of just teaching right now that are making me want to, like, actually murder them, myself, all people. I mean, I remember last year I gave my teacher, or my kids' teacher, was it an apple as a thank? I think next year I'm going to give them an Apple Mac. No, fuck that. I'm going to give them oral because they should be paying £1 million each an hour, all of them, to take my children. And I appreciate that, you know, stopping the schools was a fundamental part of the social distancing required in order to improve the health of this nation, etc., protect the NHS, etc., etc., etc. But oh my God, I mean, I know that coronavirus can, in some cases, cause incredible breathing problems and pain at a level that you could possibly never imagine before slipping into coma and dying. But these are realistic options compared to schooling my own fucking children. I don't know how many of you watching right now are homeschooling, but there's only so much of the Twinkle website you can take before you think, fuck it, I'm typing in Pornhub by mistake because I can't cope with this anymore. Oh look, it's BBC Bite Size. I'm going to watch someone mentally deranged dance while talking about the mathematical placement of whole numbers for 7 minutes. And you know what, I watch it and the kids are silent and I'm thinking, this is utter shit, but they're quiet, and now I love this more than anything. No Netflix box set can compete with BBC Bite Size when it comes to getting my children silent. And yeah, they're sat there on YouTube going, I want to be like Preston, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to make £1 million a year. And I'm trying to explain to them that the best people I know in stand-up comedy, like Jason Mann, for example, phenomenal comic, 400,000 hits in his first week of producing his own channel. 39 quid is what he earned. That's right. It's not going to fucking happen, kids, unless you learn to become an Amazon delivery driver or work on the Tesco stacking areas. You aren't going to have a job because Daddy doesn't have a job, because all that telling jokes that he did for a hobby has reverted back to an actual fucking hobby. Anyway, So hello, great to be chatting to you guys. I hope you're really enjoying the parenting experience. And if you're one of those parents who goes, oh no, this has been fabulous because now they're not at school, I can really bond and really make a link with them. Or you can fuck off with a capital fuck off. And don't get me wrong, right? Okay, for a lot of you right now, you might be finding it difficult, especially if you're one of those people who finds it difficult to be around your partner, especially since having children. And I'm not going to put the boot in on that sense. I know I seem particularly angry, but actually I'm a huge fan of love. I am. I got to the end of my wedding day and thought, this is amazing. I must do this again. And then I have, and I thoroughly recommend it. I don't know if anyone out there listening right now is married, and but statistically, some of you won't be particularly happy. And the whole coronavirus, self-isolation, lockdown has pushed some relationships to the edge. And maybe you're sat watching comedy right now next to somebody who you feel ever so slightly murderous towards. And if that's the case, you're probably not saying anything. You're probably looking straight ahead and thinking, I've got no idea what he's talking about, darling. But actually, there's a good chance it isn't working out. And if you're thinking, once this is over, I'm moving on, but it'll be really difficult, I'm not entirely sure I want to do that in this post-coronavirus world. Will I be able to meet anybody? I mean, the whole dating thing is going to be incredibly difficult, isn't it? I mean, dogging alone has been wiped out by the coronavirus epidemic. It's quite tricky, isn't it? You can't be meeting strangers in a car park. And a supermarket car park could be acceptable, I suppose, if it is effectively a journey for essential groceries. But then even then, it's hard to find a part of the car park that isn't going to be busy, especially with those 2-meter interspersed queues going round and round. You're going to have people walking past your car door. That's what I'm going to say, staring in. And it's not as if you're going to get much on while you're in there as well, actually, because your classic dogger, you're still going to have to be 2 meters away. And so, if you can entertain and pleasure someone from 2 meters away, there's a very good chance that you should be probably on this show because you've got a skill. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here as I want to do. The point I was making is that if you are in a relationship that's failed and you're thinking, I don't want to break this up, let me tell you, right, don't be panicky about this. You can move on. You can find love. Everybody out there has got the opportunity to find love. Even this post-pandemic world, love is available out there. Don't let that hold you back. I strongly believe that is the case. And if you're thinking, no, that isn't me, don't worry. It can happen. All right, okay then, and I'm a huge fan of love. Like I said, end of my wedding day, thought must do this again, and I did. And if you are with somebody and it's hurting you because it's not going particularly well, good news. There are more people on the planet. We all live longer. You will find someone better. There's no excuse. I don't want to be my own. No, you will find someone better. Fuck it, even if you're happy, give them the heave-ho. You will find someone better. And it's, and if you are thinking, but that, I made it a vow, I want to be with that person forever. Yeah, it's not, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, because, and more people get divorced now. It's over 50% of them fail. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's really quite sad. But, if you've been divorced, it's not your fault. I can tell you from the other side, it's the fault of medical science. Because 2,000 years ago, when all the world religions got together and said you had to be together forever, it's a piece of piss back then. Because back then, we all lived to 36. So people would go like, do you want to be together forever? What, a year and a half? Fuck it, let's do it. Whereas now, we all live to 80. No, 90. Half of the next generation will live to 100. What are the chances of them being happy for 75 years, right? Let me tell you, fuck all. Because nobody can be happy for that long, because no one's that interesting. I do stand-up comedy for a living, or at least I did prior to the pandemic, and my job was to entertain people for 20 to 30 minutes. If I stayed on stage for 5 or 10 minutes too long, they would get bored and fidgety. Imagine trying to be that interesting for 3/4 of a century. It's not going to fucking happen. But you know what? But it's okay. It's right, because when you move on, the next person is better. It's a bit like an iPhone. You think you're happy with the one you got, right? But then the next one comes along and is like, oh my God, what was I doing with that shit? I can only recommend the upgrade. And don't get me wrong, I'm not being sort of sadistic or putting the boot in unnecessarily. I'm, like I said, a huge fan of love. I am quite a positive person. If you've got a chance to chat to me on a one-to-one, you realise I'm quite chipper and upbeat. My ethos has always been, no matter how it happens in life, no matter how dark and miserable, you can always see the positive. So yes, fair enough, my first wife did spend the majority of the time while we were married letting one of her colleagues repeatedly put his knob inside her, right? But he did spend half that time taking it back out again, so it wasn't all bad. Sort of bad news, good news, bad news, good news, bad news, good news. It's always ended on good news, you see, like a fairy tale. In fact, the only thing that genuinely upsets me is this stereotype that men are all sort of players and women are all virtuous. And that's got to be bollocks as well, because surely, women can do the dirty and men can be the victims. That's certainly the case with me. I would never be unfaithful to someone. I'm too empathetic. If I upset someone else, it upsets me. I'll get an idea of how boringly sort of monogamous I am. I can't even masturbate thinking about other people without feeling like I'm being unfaithful to my wife. Yeah, I have to spend the 10 minutes beforehand imagining she's died. It's the only way to make it okay. It's like, ooh, a car crash. It's proper sexy. I recommend it. Do give it a go. So, so I'm a single dad, as that may have come across. It was difficult to get children in the first place. I tried very hard to make children, and it was a slog. I don't know if anyone out there's given the old making kids thing a go. It's hard. What we were doing, we were pushing away to ages, and it's a classic sort of middle class problem, infertility, because your working class people don't seem to have any problem making children, whereas your middle class people, they'll leave it later in life, won't they, because they'll travel or they'll study or they'll concentrate on their businesses, and that's how IVF works, by the way, if you're curious, is they know you've built up a nest egg of money over the years, then comes along, slowly claws it all away from you until technically you're got no money left and you're working class again, and then you conceive naturally. It's a phenomenal strategy. How do they do it? But I tried, and we tried for ages, and it wasn't really working, and I didn't get much support, I must admit. The females supported my ex-wife very much. They were behind her the whole time, saying, you can do this, we're looking out for you, whereas the men with me were just all kind of like, oh yeah, trying for a baby, eh? Sex on tap, fucking yes. And all that taught me is they've never tried for a baby before, because let me tell you with some confidence on this issue, this is some of the shittest sex you will ever have in your entire life. There's no cuddling, there's no smiling, it's just get it in, get it out, hurry up, MasterChef's on. Now that is it. And if you're sat there right now thinking, well, hang on a second, Stephen, hang on a second, at least it's sex every day. No, apparently not. Apparently at my age you have to buffer things up to thicken the consistency or something. My ex-wife sat there with a magazine article going, look, we can only have sex when the time is right. I'm going, yeah, well, I'm in my mid-40s. When it's hard, that's when it's right. Because for you young people, right, oh my God, sex is incredible. For you, just it's like a brand new plastic squirty ketchup bottle, isn't it? You just flip the lid and boom, 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 fucking everywhere. For me, it's like a 5-year-old glass ketchup bottle. I am there for fucking ages, Now, at the end of it, my ex is going, look, I'll tell you what, I'll go get a knife, I'll sort this out. And it's not for want of trying. Did all the things the doctor said. The doctor said if you're a man, you're supposed to exercise to keep your blood oxygen levels high. If you're a woman, you have to make sure you don't become too overweight, because, well, no bloke will put his knob in you. That's a key one. I am joking, obviously, ladies will put our knob in anything. It's not a barrier. We're good people like that. We're worried about the person on the inside that we're trying to reach, like that bell at the fair. Doing. And I took up cycling. I thought that'd be a great way of, making a baby. Huge mistake, turns out, in the end, because, huge mistake. Because it turns out that if you spend an hour a day on a bike saddle, you can kill up to 50% of your sperm. 50%? Where was that information back when I was in my early 20s, back having sex with women for fun? They're going, oh, Stephen, don't come at me. And I could have said, don't worry, love, it's all right. I cycled here, Anyway, it turns out I could make children in the end because I had something called non-dominant sperm. And what that means is the sperm will not penetrate the egg if another sperm is trying to penetrate the egg. See, basically I'm stuck in an infinite loop of British politeness. Just a load of sperm going, after you. But I couldn't. After you. No, I insist. After you. Anyway, kind of how it works. Anyway, so one got through. Well, 2 got through in the end. I've got 2 little boys, and they're wonderful, and they really need to go back to school really soon. And it's tough being a single dad. I'll share this with you before I disappear. I know a lot of people don't really know what to think of you as a single father. I mean, there's lots of stereotypes to do with single mums, and some of them positive, some of them negative, but you don't know whether to feel sorry for me or laugh at me. But let me tell you, it's difficult. It's difficult for a different way because we traditionally don't have the children as long, do we? So we're trying to make the most of time, and that last hour before we got to hand them back, that's really tough, isn't it? Trying to get as much sugar in them as possible. I mean, it's really difficult, Sat there with Haribo in the NutriBullet. Daddy, I don't want it. Fucking have it. Daddy, you feel sick. It's all right to be sick, but in Dave's car. Bye.
Oh, now. Oh, sorry. Sorry, everyone. I was like, now. please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Stephen Grant. Woohoo! He's absolutely brilliant. One of my favourite acts out there. You can follow him on Instagram at Stephen C. Grant. He's absolutely a hilarious comic, one of the funniest compares in the country. So please do check him out if you get the chance to. How are you all doing? I'm sorry I was so gormless there. I can see myself on a delay, and it's me going, no. I'm like one of these, these. It's like these like news reader sort of people that like sort of it cuts them, and they're just like sort of chewing a big pepperami, like It's about that level of professionalism here, ladies and gentlemen. Or these like news readers who like you cut to them and they're being attacked by like cats or something. It's very professional. It's very professional. I wanted to update you all with what I'm drinking this evening. Here we go. This is a fruit gin and tonic. I ran off to the fridge, but sadly I couldn't find any actual fruit to go in it because I'm not living on that. I'm living on chocolate and carbohydrates and alcohol. So that's how I'm doing. How are you guys doing? How are you coping? How are you getting on in lockdown? How are the kids? What's been going on this week? Any crazy shit? Please do let us know. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you enjoyed Stephen's set and fancy buying him a drink, then you can donate by the PayPal going across. We've already had donations from I think it was Jen. Thank you so much for your kind donation. Wanted to give you a shout out because Jen is a friend of the next act. Our next act is our resident mum in captivity, Elisa Curia, aka the Funny Mummy. So I think without further ado, because a lot's been going on for her, I'm sure she will tell you about it in her fabulous comedy extravaganza. So, ladies and gentlemen, please get those clapping emojis going for Elisa Curia.
Thanks, Carly! Hello, everybody! How are you doing this fabulous Thursday night? Oh, it's so lovely to be back. Lovely to see you. How are you doing? How are you doing? I was almost late for this, to my own show, which is shocking, but I was trying to get the angle right. Don't you just hate the angles of these things and the way it makes you look? Like, I was trying to find an angle that was a bit more like this. That would be the, oh look, I'm in my stepson's room. Can you see the mess? Look, absolutely, look, and they're all rugby poster. Nice, not so nice. But yeah, this is the angle that I would love, because then, in every video, people are like, oh my God, Lisa, you look amazing, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm just moisturising, eating healthily, like just taking care of myself this lockdown. I'll tell you, what I'm not doing, I'm not drinking a bottle of wine a night and eating Lola's leftovers fish fingers. But I can't hang my computer from my lampshade, sadly, so I have to do with this angle, but at least it's not this. Bah! So that's why I was nearly late. But I'm here now and I'm very excited to see you. So how's your week been? Mine's been insane. We got a puppy. We thought it was a really good idea to get a puppy in lockdown. But yeah, it's madness. It's added to the madness. So I've got puppy, Lola, my 5-year-old, my stepson Jonathan, my husband. So it's just all madness here. And I think, as I mentioned last week, Lola loves playing Barbies. I carry them with me everywhere now. I was playing Barbies with Lola in a dog playpen this week. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a new low of lockdown for me. Lola was desperate to play Barbies. We didn't want the dog chewing said Barbies. So me and Lola sat in the dog playpen in the garden while the dog roamed happily around. There's something wrong with this picture, people. I sat in a dog cage. How's your week been? So that's just been bananas. I've been thinking about when this is all over, because there's all talk about this, isn't it, how they're going to ease it up. And I just wanted to chat to any maybe new mums out there who have been on a bit of maternity leave during this and are thinking, when this is over, you might be able to get out there on the mum scene. And mums with older kids and dads with older kids, you know what I'm talking about. Meeting other parents, okay? And just thought I'd chat to you about that, give you a bit of tips for when you can go out into the world and meet other parents. So when I had Lola, I didn't know anyone who was a mum. I was the first one of my friends to have a baby, so I really had to go out, and it did feel like I was going out on the pool. It does feel like that, doesn't it? It feels like you're on the pool. Like, I joined NCT, as I chatted to you about already. I joined NCT, but I needed to, you know, get lots of mum dates in because I got cabin fever, so I needed to get out and about. So I would go to a baby group and I'd find a mum on her own. Like I just didn't feel confident to infiltrate a pack. And I would give her the eye, you know, and it would normally go something like this. And then I'd make my move, everybody. I'd go, oh my gosh, your little boy is so gorgeous. It's a girl. Fuck it! Strike one, strike one. It's brutal out there, people. It is brutal out there on the mum dating scene. Not to scare you, but I got a fake number in Baby Sensory. True story that, true story that. I saw her in the park. Saw her in the park after that. She just wheeled her buggy away from me. So awkward, so awkward. I wish there was I know there are some kind of dating apps for mums like Peanut and Mush and stuff, but I want to be able to swipe. I feel like there should be the need to swipe, you know, like Teetotal, for me personally, called their baby Agamemnon. I'm so sorry if anyone's watching this and they called their baby Agamemnon. Yeah, I feel like we need that. I feel like I possibly came over as too intense when I was out on the mum dating scene. I didn't know what to say. So take some tips from me of what not to do. Don't go up to anyone in a baby group and go, fancy coming back to mine for some arts and crafts, a little soft play. Yeah, don't do that. But generally, I mean, let's get real, people. When you're meeting a new parent friend, the bar is pretty low, isn't it, really? The bar is pretty low. Do you have a child? Do you live nearby? That's it, isn't it? That's it, really. It's like, so what are your hobbies? It's the dead people. Oh, fuck it, she lives down the road. I'll see you Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm excited for you guys to go out and meet some new mum and dad friends. Report back and let me know how it's gone. During this madness of a week, I have written another song for you guys about lockdown. It's brand new, fresh off the press. I'm not publishing it, but I am going to be doing a music video for it, hopefully soon. But I wanted to sing it to you guys as a little Lockdown Laughs exclusive. Woo, woo, woo. So I hope you enjoy. So let's go for it. Once again, a cappella, because of the YouTube rules. Okay. Mama, I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from your whining 500 times a day. I gotta feed you. I want to break free. Kitchen's closed. Sorry, the chef's been furloughed. I'm not a teacher. I don't understand phonics. My kids now know that I am stupid. I'm not a teacher. I don't know. I have been Googling the answers. It's strange, but it's true. I think I hate the man that I am married to. When he tells a crap joke, I want to slit his throat. Oh, I want to be free, yeah. I hate the way that he breathes. Everything he does annoys me. But lockdown goes on. I wake up there, always there, wanting something all the time. I need some time on my own. I know. Let's do social distancing at home. Now everyone has to stay 2 meters away from me. I want to break free and drink my wine in peace. Thank you very much. Thank you. Inspired by the social distancing Saturdays that, if you watched last week, I was chatting to you guys about. So that is all from me this week. I've been the funny mummy, and you've been amazing as always. I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, one positive thing I do think about lockdown, just to say before we leave, is spending that lovely, quality time with the family. Only joking! Yay! Love you guys, and I'm going to send you back to the amazing, fabulous Carly in the studio.
And just waves and waves of dancing penises. Oh, didn't see you there. Sorry, that was just me. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my best friend in lockdown, Elisa Kyria. Woo! Absolutely brilliant. And a fabulous new song, Wifey Woo, that I've not heard before. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Elisa. And if you love Elisa, I really recommend that you follow her Instagram. She puts up loads of really, really funny stuff about being a mum. And you can follow her at The Funny Mummy UK. And if you really love Elisa, why not buy her a nice, cool glass of Villa Maria Sauvignon Blanc? Hashtag not sponsored by Villa Maria Sauvignon Blanc. Hashtag would like to Blanc. Hashtag new influencer. If you'd like to buy her a drink, it's the bottom of the screen, and you can send her a little bit of dosh because, like the rest of us, Elisa is a comedian who can't go and perform in comedy clubs. So let's show the love to her. If you've got any bit of money, please do send it her way. And I want to give a shout out because one of the people that donated is the fabulous Lisa Jones. Hello, Lisa. I actually know Lisa. She's absolutely wonderful. She is my friend's mum. So thank you, Lisa. I want to give a shout out to you and Kev over in France. More international viewers. Let's see what's going on in the chat box before I bring on another app, because we've got two more comedians. This is why we're racing through at a fast pace. Oh, Willow Rivers has just come on and had a little wave. Hi, Willow. We love Willow. Willow's comes to our live shows. Please do pop in the chat box if you've been to one of our live shows, because we miss you guys. We miss you so much. We really, really, really can't wait to come back and entertain you. And also, if you want to keep updated, please follow Bring Your Own Baby's social media. Our Facebook page is Bring Your Own Baby Comedy, and we're posting all updates there as we get them. Oh, and Lisa said hi in the chat box. Hello, Lisa. Very exciting. I want to give a shout out to Ben Newton. What's he said? Oh, Ben is telling me what he eats. So his diet is a Slimming World dinner, now eating a pack of biscuits. Do you know what I like, Ben? Balance. That's what I like with that. In fact, if you don't eat the whole pack of biscuits, you're actually having some kind of unbalanced diet. It's too much Slimming World, not enough fucking stodge. So, Ben, please do keep eating. Has anyone gained weight during lockdown? Anyone doing that? Anyone got the lockdown tummy? I think for me, I'm not eating a lot more, but I am drinking a lot more wine. I'd say I'm not eating a lot more. Like, who the fuck am I kidding? Of course, I'm packing my fucking face. But I'm also making the most out of my hours Boris sanctioned exercise. So obviously it doesn't count. It doesn't count if I, eat 3 burgers for 1 meal. Doesn't count. Right, my lovely, lovely friends. Shall we get some more comedy on your screens? I think you deserve it. You've been through enough this week. You're doing amazingly. I have to say, big shout out. Parents in lockdown, hardest job going. So thank you all so much for finding the time to even do this for yourselves. This is some you time. So people, our next act is such a treat. Our next act is Jen Brister. We love her. She used to be the resident MC at our shows in Brighton. So loads of you will recognise her from there. But you may also recognise her from such places. I've got another donation just came in, Catriona and someone else, but I will have to look that up. Sorry. You may also recognise Jen from such things as Live at the Apollo. She's written an amazing book called The Other Mother, and she's generally just wonderful. One of my actual personal favourite comedians. It's always a real joy when I work with her on the circuit. So let's get the applause emojis going, people, and welcome to your screens, Jen Brister.
Hello. Just a little bit of excess wind there because I just completed my dinner. Completed. It's not a... Oh my God, it wasn't a thing. I didn't need to complete it. I just ate it. It wasn't sort of a task that was given to me. Everything's beginning to feel like a mission. Anyway, that's not how I wanted to start. What I wanted to say was, hello, how are you? Are you well? Are you surviving this whole lockdown experience? How are you doing? It's tough, isn't it? It's a bit tricky, particularly with children. Some of you might be loving it. I, on the other hand, I'm struggling a little bit. just like a minor existential crisis every now and again. There are a few clues. I shaved my hair off. I don't know how big a clue that is, but it feels like it's a big one. At the time, I thought this is a terrible idea, and I did it anyway. So let's not examine that too much. But I just want to say before we will move on that this hair that I have is 3 weeks of hair growth. So you can only imagine what it looked like when I did it. Anyway, everything's fine. The lockdown is great, isn't it? I think a lot of people are being very positive about this time, particularly parents. There's a lot of Instagram mums, aren't they, just telling us what a wonderful time it is to be able to really bond and connect with our children and really find this time to really, gel as a family and well, frankly, I'm not having that experience, okay? Yeah, look, of course I love my children, but I'd like some me time. I want some of me time. I'm a stand-up comedian. I spend a lot of the time away, and now I'm here all of the time. Don't get me wrong. Of course, there are a lot of positives, but a moment to myself. I mean, look, before my children were born, there was a lot of naivety, okay? My children are 5 now. They're twins. I have twin 5-year-old boys with my partner. Before my kids were born, of course, I was naive about it. I mean, I think I genuinely thought before my boys were born that I'd wanted to spend every waking hour with them. No, I don't. No. I mean, like I said, they're 5 now, and there are honestly days, even before lockdown, where I find myself looking at them thinking, what, every day you're here? You never just bugger off. You're just here every day, are you? No, sorry, I just thought you might pop to the shops every now and again, but you just seem to be here a lot. Yeah, well, and that was pre-lockdown, so you can imagine where things are going now. Not to mention, out of nowhere, I appear to be a teacher. No one told me that was going to be coming up, and I am not cut out for it. In fact, I am a dreadful teacher. The day that school opens, I will walk in on my hands and knees and I will kiss those teachers' feet. God damn it, I will. My kids don't respect me. That's half the problem. I mean, I can't teach them. They respect inanimate objects in our house more than they respect me. I mean, I'm trying to teach them jolly phonics. By the way, the jolly bit, that fucked off a while back. It's just phonics right now. I'm there saying, all right, kids, okay, let's find out all the words that we can think of that have in them. No, mother, we don't want to do that. And anyway, you smell of poo-poo. Charming. 5 minutes later, Mama, yeah, I love this table. I mean, seriously, literally, I'll go, fuck yourself. I don't know. I've never spent this much time in a toilet. I don't think I've hidden in a toilet this much since I had a job doing data entry for a software company in Hersham. Yeah, a lot of time hiding in the loo. I think the family are beginning to catch on. I think everyone's realised that I don't need 5 hours to have a shit, but just going to keep plugging away with that one and hope nobody notices. IBS, you know how it is. And the thing is, the other thing is that some of you watching this, you'll have babies, and this is hard anyway, isn't it? This whole lockdown experience is hard. But on top of that, you might have a baby. And so your days they're long, aren't they? When you've got a baby, your days are long, and you might hear, I don't know, you might have friends or family members that are saying stuff like this to you. This bit flies by. Hang on to this bit when they're little, because it flies by and you'll miss it. And you're like, my day is 22 hours long, mate. This bit is not flying by. This bit, right, is a fucking interminable. The trouble is, it feels competitive, doesn't it, as a parent? I mean, you don't want it to be competitive. I'm out of the baby bit now. We're out of the baby bit, and we're into a whole new area, which is the school bit. And you've got to join a WhatsApp group. That seems to be the rule, isn't it? I don't know about the rest of you, but I seem to be joined onto about 75 WhatsApp groups, 74 of which I had muted permanently for a year. I mean, We've got one for the kids' school, and listen, I mean, it's benign. Of course it is, but I can't get involved with it. There's too many people putting up photos of saying Rufus has just made a volcano. We did an experiment where we took sodium bicarbonate and we placed it in the thing here, and then I mean, our kids aren't doing that. I want to say, oh yeah, you should take a look at our two. They were sniffing each other's bum holes in the bath the other night. Want to see the video? I'd like to say it only happens occasionally, but it's every fucking night. I don't know what they think is up there. Oh dear. I suppose there are pluses. I mean, there are plus sides to being in lockdown or being trapped in your house with your family. And I suppose one of those is that I've become more patient. I think that's something that's a whole new world for me. Because your children, they try you. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine anybody's watching this that doesn't have kids. But if you don't have kids, the only thing you need to know is that you cannot reason with these people. I mean, literally. I mean, don't even bother trying. Even like when you're trying to play along with them. Like, now that we're trapped together, I try to join in. I try. I'm like, I'm going to join in with this game, this imaginary game with Spider-Man and Batman or whatever it is. I mean, the rules are so arbitrary. You can't even join in with them. They're like, Mama, Spider-Man is having a birthday party. Oh, great. Is Batman invited? No! Spider-Man hates Batman. Well, that came out of nowhere. And that was fucking creepy. Imagine being heckled by your girlfriend's computer. What the fuck's that about? You have literally ruined the gag on that punchline. So you're going to, if you weren't over $1,000, I'd chuck you out. Yeah, and I don't like the look of your face. Your face with a bit. It's really hard to get any feedback from a Mac computer. I don't know if you've tried, but they don't give you much. In fact, I'd rather deal with a 5-year-old. Back to the 5-year-olds. I can remember when they were 2 and 3. And again, when you're a parent, you project what you want onto your children. And I think I wanted my kids to really like nature. I mean, we live in Brighton, my girlfriend and I, and so we're near the Downs and we've got the beach. And we just assumed that our kids would love nature. They'd like to go out and, you know, that we'd have sort of fun learning about leaves and trees and insects and all kinds of stuff. And as it turns out, our children, particularly between the ages of 2 and 3, they hated earth, grass, water, sand, mud. Oxygen. Okay, they were fine with oxygen. They were fine with, but that's only because I believe it's, you know, essential. I mean, I can remember taking them to a park when they were 2 or 3, and I literally, I think I turned my back on them for about a split second, and one of them kicked off. I mean, like literally kicked off. Right? I thought, Jesus, you know, as a parent, you're constantly feeling guilty. I was like, what have I done? I mean, has he been stung by a wasp? Has he fallen into a bed of nettles? Anyway, I spun round. He had a leaf in his Wellington boot. I thought, oh no, mate, I'm not having that. No. Get back to me when you've trapped your foreskin in your zip, all right? Don't worry, I didn't say that. Okay, I did, but he doesn't understand. He didn't have the cognition. I don't think he'll remember. It's fine. It was more for me anyway. Look, I don't know what this has been. Has it been anything? I mean, I don't know. I hope that you're all well and surviving whatever this is. Just know that you're not alone. We're all having an awful time together. And if you're looking at me thinking, why is her face so pink? Wine. I've been drinking wine. And if you're not, then you should start right now. Bye. This computer is still heckling me. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the absolutely wonderful Jen Brister. We absolutely love her here. She is one to watch. As soon as we are out of lockdown, let's all go see Jen on tour. Let's fucking do this. If you love her, you can follow her on the gram at Jen Brister Comedy. It's well worth it. She put some good stuff up there. So let's hang on. I think I've got a way to see what's good. Oh, here we go. I want to say thank you to a few people who have donated. Shari, If I pronounced your name right, and Kay McLeod, a detective. Kay McLeod. So thank you, Detective Sergeant McLeod. It's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you getting on? How's lockdown? You'll never guess what's going on. So I am sat here. Some of you may know I'm locked down with my family. So I'm indoors doing this show, and I've just seen that my parents have lit a fire pit and are outside drinking cocktails. So that's what I'm going to be doing after the show. Please do comment in the box and let me know what you're going to be doing. Are you going to be doing fire pits and cocktails, or are you going to be doing sleep, the holy fucking grail of sleep? Please do give a comment and let me know what you're doing after this. Ladies and gentlemen, also, I've got to my usual thing. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to our channel. It would be really nice if you could subscribe and I could have some more friends. If you really love Jen's set, also, you can see there's a little thing going across the bottom. Please do donate if you are in a position to do so, because we would love nothing more than to give our act enough to get themselves a little drink or a little takeaway or some kind of treat, because they're doing this free of charge in their own time tonight. So we've got one more comedian to go. Are you excited, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my God, yeah, we're excited. I can't hear you. Oh my God, yeah, we're really excited. So, can you tell I'm missing comedy clubs? What's your name and where do you come from? Hello, I'm Carly's hand and I come from just there. Oh, that's nice. What do you do for a job? Oh, lots of things. I do cooking, I do baking, I do some unmentionables. Stop it, hand, you're disgusting. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more fabulous comedian for you this evening. Her name is Sooz Kempner. She is one of our Bring Your Own Baby comedy favourites. In fact, you may recognise her from some of our live shows. We love her. She's also one to follow on Twitter, so you may recognise her. You may recognise her from Twitter. I mean, maybe not facially, sort of verbally recognise her from Twitter. So let's give a great big Bring Your Own Baby lockdown laugh. Tsunami of applause emojis for the absolutely wonderful Sooz.
Hello, beautiful lockdown people. My name is Sooz. Welcome to my home. I've been gigging a lot from my home, which means that people have been seeing this painting a lot. And it's been a real talking point of gigs. It's called Three Kings, right? It's Red Rum, Arkle and Desert Orchid. They're three famous racehorses. My mum bought that in Wilkinson's in about 1996, and now everyone thinks my house is really grand, but we bought that in Wilkinson's, so like it isn't. Also, I haven't worn a shoe for a gig since mid-March, and I really like it. I'm never wearing shoes for gigs again. It's great. So I'm Sooz. I'm 35, which means that I am 1 year older than Anne Bancroft was when she played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate, which is quite an upsetting thing to find out, because it means that if I came on to Dustin Hoffman now, I'd be the pervert. No one wants that. Also, being 35 now has put me finally in the correct bracket to play a embittered first wife in a Woody Allen film. Yeah, there'd be a scene where I walk into a room and Woody Allen's there with a friend, and the friend's like, blah, 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 blah. And I go, oh, hi, Woody. And then I walk out. And then the friend would go, who was that? And Woody Allen would go, oh, that's my first wife. She's so old. So all that to look forward to once lockdown's over. I've been in lockdown finding things to do. And one of the things I thought I would do is just go back and revisit my childhood. So I've been playing all the Sega Mega Drive games that I used to love when I was a kid, because they're all available. Like, you can get them so much easier than when you were a kid. Like, when you were a kid, a Sega Mega Drive game was like £40, which in our current economy is like £40. So as a result, didn't have that many. And now I can go back and play every Mega Drive game I want. And I wanted to find the Mega Drive game that, now it's 2020, has aged the worst. And the Mega Drive game I found that has definitely aged the worst is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Yeah. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker is a game that came out in about 89, where you play Michael Jackson going around different levels, which are all like buildings and stuff, looking behind doors for children. People think that I'm making that up for a joke. No jokes, just facts. Sometimes comedy writes itself. It's the only time in history that a video game has doubled as a confession. Yeah. It's exciting. It should be playing over my shoulder right now to prove that I am no liar. I love the Sega Mega Drive, and my favourite Mega Drive character was definitely Knuckles. Now, Knuckles was in some of the Sonic games, and Knuckles doesn't really work on his own, okay? He's an echidna, by the way, clearly. Knuckles work better with other characters. When he's in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, right, best platformer of all time, but he only ever had one solo outing. It was a game called Knuckles Chaotix on the Sega 32X. And I don't want to be too disparaging about the 32X, but if you had one, oh, it means you vote Lib Dem, sorry. But Knuckles doesn't work on his own, works best with other characters. We all remember his very first appearance, which was obviously in 1930 in Steamboat Knuckles. Yeah, revolutionised animation, but it wasn't until the 80s that he really hit his stride when he teamed up with Tom Hanks and the dog for Turner and Hooch and Knuckles. Yeah, we all remember that. Fun and jokes, fun and laughs. He then got to show his sassy side in the 90s when he turned to TV and starred in Sex and the City and Knuckles. Yeah. Hey Knuckles, who you been fucking? I don't want to talk about it, Samantha. And finally, he worked in art house cinema, which was very exciting. A real departure for him when he starred in The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover and Knuckles. Yeah, Helen Mirren said he was the most brooding actor she'd ever worked with. Now, being a child of the 90s, I grew up on not Disney. Right, okay. So Disney films were really expensive. So I didn't grow up on any Disney. We had something else in my house. We had playing on a loop, on a cassette in my mum's car was Les Miserables, okay? I knew every single word to Les Miserables. And every Monday at Brister Primary School, we had something called showing, where you could go in, tell everyone about your weekend, do a little turn, or if you were like one of the rich kids, Guy Akers, you could show them the new toys you've been bought, Guy Akers, right? I went in one Monday and went, for showing today, I think I'm going to do a number from Les Mis. But I didn't want to do anything too obvious, like I Dreamed a Dream or On My Own, because they're just like obvious. It's too basic, right? They're basically just Adele songs. So I decided that I was going to do a song from Les Mis called Lovely Ladies. And the reason I chose Lovely Ladies is it starts off really jaunty and upbeat, like boop, boop, but then it gets very slow and reflective, because even though I was 7, I knew I wanted to show my range. So I'm going to recreate for you what I did on that day in 1992. Please bear in mind that what I'm about to do for you now isn't as bad as I did when I was 7, because now I'm 35 and I'm guessing you're all adults, whereas back then I was 7 and it was all other 7-year-olds. Also, I'm only going to do 1 minute of this, right? Whereas 7-year-old me, she did the full 4 minutes. So I went to the front of the class and Mrs. McGregor went, okay then, Susanna, off you go. And I did this. Lovely ladies waiting for the call, standing up or lying down or any way at all. Rich men, poor men, leaders of the land, see 'em with their trousers off, they're never quite as grand. All it takes is money in your hand. Lovely ladies going for a song, got a lot of callers, but they never stay for long. Come on, Captain, you can wear your shoes. Don't it make a change to have a girl who can't refuse? Easy money lying in a bed, just as well they never see the hate that's in your head. Don't they know they're making love to one already dead? And then Mrs. McGregor ran down the front of the class and went, thank you, Susanna. Yes, that was... Yes, I wonder what's going on at home. Like, I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty certain there was a list somewhere in Burstow Primary School that had my name on it and was headed like cause for concern. I remember saying to my mum at the time, what do they mean, easy money lying in a bed? And my mum went, oh, well, they are women who go to bed with men for money. And I was like, all right. So how come every time we stay at Auntie Fiona's, I have to share a bed with my brother for free, like a mug? Like a mug, mate. It's all right that I'm 35 now. Get what I'm owed. So, lovely material for lockdown. I later, of course, went into performing. And my first ever job before I was ever a comedian was in 2007. I spent 3 months in Ayia Napa as a Christina Aguilera tribute act. I'll prove it. So to be a Christina Aguilera tribute act, I had to look the part. I had these yellow and PVC chaps custom made for me, which I hoped would make me look just like Christina Aguilera, but I just looked like fireman sex worker. And then I had to learn to sing like Christina Aguilera. And the way I learned to sing like Christina Aguilera was I went through her whole back catalogue, found the song that helped me get her sound. And the song I found was her version of Silent Night. And I'm going to do it for you. So when Christina Aguilera does Silent Night, first of all, she makes everything sexual, even though it is a Christmas carol. But I presume if someone pointed that out to her, she'd just go, I don't care. And you know how Silent Night has got a tune? Yeah? When Christina Aguilera does it, it's got loads more tune, right? It's like her singing grew as singing. So guys, this is one way that you can earn £30 a night in Ayia Napa dressed in PVC chaps and a bikini. And there are other ways, but they are less demeaning. Okay. Silent night, holy night, all is come, all is bright, round yon virgin. That's how she sings Virgin. Mother and child, holy infant soul, tender and mild, sleeping heavenly peace. That's for our dog fans. Sleeping heavenly peace. Thank you, thank you. I've got one more person to show you and then I'm off. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the absolutely incredibly talented Sooz Kempner. Woo! She's absolutely brilliant. You should follow her on Twitter. She's brilliant, or she's on Instagram at Sooz Kempner. And she's a very funny lady. And I cannot wait to see you again, Sooz, when this is all over. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our show. It's been so lovely entertaining you. Not just this evening, but for the past however many weeks it's been. We're going to be taking a little break with our online shows for a while, until we've got a bit more of a handle on what's going on in the world. But don't worry, because we have got you fucking sorted for laughter. If you follow our social media, our Bring Your Own Baby Comedy social media, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've even got Twitter. But Facebook and Insta are where it is at Bring Your Own Baby Comedy on Insta, just Bring Your Own Baby Comedy on Facebook. We're going to be putting up for the whole month of May funny parenting memes, holla, to give you a little giggle while you're trying to wrangle your children. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in this evening. It's not too late if you want to donate to get Sooz a little drink. PayPal's running along the bottom. And thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause via emojis, or just whoop and cheer in your living room. No one's here to fucking judge you. That's what we saw this evening. You saw Stephen Grant, woohoo! Elisa Curia, woohoo! Jen Brister, woohoo! Sooz Kempner, whoop, whoop, whoop. And of course, me, Carly Smallman, at Carly Smallman on Instagram, who has been talking shit in between the links. And also give it up for John. He's the guy that talks to me in my ear, who's been running these shows the whole time. John, do you want to say anything to the people?
Thanks a lot, guys. It's been really emotional.
He's been crying this whole time. Trust me, I've had him in my ear, been like, I just love it so much. Honestly, he's been crying and masturbating furiously throughout the whole show, and it's been really difficult to hear. Ladies and he said really hard to do. I don't know if you could hear that. That was disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Please stay safe and do your lockdown as best you bloody well can. We are going to be back with you for live shows as soon as possible. Thank you very much and good night.